going to start with new information that we got just in the last 30 minutes about a deadly shooting in Mesquite. Police have named a suspect. It's 42-year-old Christopher Witt. He is now wanted for the death of Keisha Hilliard, who was found inside her home. That was on Avis Circle over the weekend.
On October 12, 2025, a 3-year-old boy said 5 words that will haunt his family forever. My daddy shot Keisha. Inside a quiet home in Mesquite, Texas, a mother of 5 lay dead with a single gunshot wound to her forehead. Her 7-month-old baby was still in the house, and the man responsible, he had vanished. But before we get into what happened that day, if you're new to Shadow Crime, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that bell icon, because cases like this, cases that expose the darkest sides of relationships and betrayal, they need to be told. And you being here helps us bring justice to light. Now, let's talk about Keisha Hilliard. Because this isn't just another case. This is about a woman who was trying to build something real. Keisha was 42 years old. She wasn't just surviving, she was creating. She designed clothes, she wrote a book, and she had this beautiful garden in her backyard where she grew her own food. 5 kids. Can you imagine the energy that takes? The love? She wasn't perfect, none of us are, but she was trying. She was building a life, a business, a future for her children. And the man she trusted, the man she shared that life with, Christopher Witt, he was right there beside her. Or so it seemed. Christopher and Keisha had been together for years. They shared children together, at least 2, maybe more. The 7-month-old baby and that 3-year-old boy who witnessed everything. They were a family, or at least they looked like one from the outside. But here's the thing about long-term relationships. They can hide cracks for a really long time. And those cracks, they were about to shatter everything. October 12th started like any other day, but somewhere in that house, an argument erupted. According to what Christopher later told his relatives, Keisha was upset. She felt like he was treating their children differently. You know that feeling when you see someone you love showing favoritism? When one child gets more attention, more love, more patience than the others. That cuts deep, especially for a mother. Keisha called him out on it. She stood up for her kids. And that's when everything fell apart. We don't know exactly how the argument escalated. We don't know what words were said, what buttons were pushed. But we know how it ended. A single gunshot to the forehead. Keisha Hilliard, the woman who grew food in her backyard and designed clothes and loved her 5 children, was gone. Just like that. But here's where this gets even darker. That 3-year-old boy, he saw it happen. He watched his father pull the trigger. He was so close to the gunfire that it hurt his ears. Imagine being 3 years old and watching something like that. Your brain can't even process what death means at that age, but your body remembers the sound, the fear, the confusion.
We're going to start with new information that we got just in the last 30 minutes about a deadly shooting in Mesquite. Police have named a suspect. It's 42-year-old Christopher Witt. He is now wanted for the death of Keisha Hilliard, who was found inside her home. That was on Avis Circle over the weekend. Brazeda Holguin sitting down with the family this afternoon.
Police say this was initially reported as a welfare check, but turned out to be a homicide investigation. Keisha's family says the last few days have been extremely difficult, especially for Keisha's 5 children who she leaves behind.
I really don't know what's going to happen or how we're going to make it through, because it's going to be tough. And it's going to be tough for her kids.
Keisha Hilliard was a mother of 5, her youngest just 6 months old. On Sunday, police found her dead inside her home.
What possessed you to think that you have the right to take a life? Regardless of the situation, you walk away.
Her family now left with so many unanswered questions. Keisha's family says Sunday afternoon they got a call indicating she was in danger.
She always answered her phone, and she wasn't answering her phone.
So that was the first red flag you guys
saw. That was a big red flag.
Mesquite police found the 42-year-old with a gunshot wound.
Well, Keisha is a fun person. She's outgoing. She loves kids. She great mom. Excellent mom. She makes sure that they're taken care of.
Right now, the family is coming together to support one another, especially Keisha's kids, and worry about how difficult this upcoming holiday season will be for them.
Because it doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem real at all. Even just the kids to wrap their heads around it, and being young, it's going to be devastating in their lives, so they're going to need comfort.
In Mesquite, Briseida Holguin, CBS News, Texas.
And the 7-month-old baby was there too, just sitting in that house while their mother lay dead. Think about that for a second. 2 children, one who witnessed murder, one too young to understand, both left in a home that had just become a crime scene. Now here's what Christopher did next, and this is where you really start to see the kind of person we're dealing with. He didn't call 911. He didn't try to help Keisha. He didn't even check on that baby. No. He gathered up his children, and he drove them to a relative's house. Just dropped them off. And when the family asked him what was going on, when that 3-year-old said, "My daddy shot Keisha," Christopher admitted it. He looked his relative in the eye and said he believed he had killed her. Let that sink in for a moment. He believed he killed her. Not there was an accident. Not, I don't know what happened. He knew exactly what he'd done. And then he ran. For 11 days, Christopher Witt was a ghost. Police were looking for him everywhere. Keisha's family was grieving, trying to process the fact that the woman they loved was gone, murdered by someone she trusted. Those 5 children were without their mother. The community was on edge because a man who had just committed murder was out there somewhere. And Christopher? He was hiding. I want you to think about what goes through someone's mind during those 11 days. You've just killed the mother of your children. You know the police are looking for you. You know your 3-year-old son told everyone what you did. What are you thinking? Are you scared? Guilty? Or are you just trying to figure out how to get away with it? Because running for 11 days, that's not panic. That's calculation. Police didn't just sit around waiting, though. They got an arrest warrant. They talked to witnesses. They interviewed that 3-year-old boy, and what he told forensic interviewers was devastating. He described watching his father shoot Keisha. He talked about how loud it was, how it hurt his ears. This child had to relive the worst moment of his life just so police could build their case. Meanwhile, Keisha's family was falling apart. They created a Facebook page called Justice for Keisha because they needed people to know who she was. Not just a victim, not just a headline, but a real person, a mother, a businesswoman, someone who mattered. And they needed help finding Christopher before he disappeared completely. Then on October 23rd, almost 2 weeks after he killed Keisha, police finally caught him. South Dallas. They arrested him on a Thursday night, and by Friday morning, October 24th, he was booked into Dallas County Jail on a murder charge. No bail set initially. No attorney listed. You'd think that would be the end, right? Guy kills his girlfriend, runs for 11 days, gets caught, case closed. But that's not how this works. Because now we're in January 2026, and we still don't know what's happening with his trial.
A manhunt is underway for the man accused of murdering a mother inside her home. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. Police say Christopher Witt and the victim, Keisha Hilliard, have been in a long-term relationship. Police responded to the home on Sunday, apparently after the suspect's family grew suspicious. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the Hilliards and the family tonight. Peyton.
Steve, Hilliard's loved ones tell me this all started with a welfare check Sunday afternoon by the suspect's family. Christopher Witt's family members then called Mesquite police after Witt dropped off his newborn and his 3-year-old unexpectedly without any supplies. Christopher Witt is still on the run tonight. Halloween decorations are still up outside a Mesquite home that now sits empty. It's where investigators say 42-year-old Keisha Hilliard was shot and killed. Hilliard, a businesswoman, a loving friend, and a dedicated mother to 5 children.
She was like the best mother ever. She always put her kids first.
Kiabre Spain is the oldest. Spain says she talked to her mom Sunday morning.
And it just went to hell from there.
By early evening, ring video from a neighbor shows an officer on Hilliard's front lawn. Mesquite police say they responded to a welfare check off Avis Circle just after 4:15 p.m. on Sunday. Once officers made entry, they found Hilliard with a fatal gunshot wound. The investigation went late into the evening, eventually pointing detectives to 42-year-old Christopher Witt. Witt and Hilliard were in a relationship and just had a baby together 6 months ago. Family members tell us the newborn and Witt's 3-year-old were home when the shooting happened. Both children are safe with family.
One day he gonna ask, where's my mama? Where's my dad?
Where Witt is, an important question Mesquite police and the U.S. Marshals are still working on.
I wish I knew.
The family left confused, saying they never saw Witt be aggressive. But they do have a message for him tonight.
Just turn yourself in, man. Come face justice, because it's either that they're going to find you or...
And Mesquite police, they are asking for anyone with any information on Witt's whereabouts to contact them, Mesquite police, or also the U.S. Marshals. They have been called in. Stephen, Heather, back to you.
All right, Peyton Yeager reporting. Peyton, thanks.
Has he been arraigned? Has he entered a plea? Is he sitting in that jail cell right now waiting for trial, or has something else happened? The system moves slow, especially with murder cases. And while Christopher Witt waits for whatever justice looks like, Keisha's 5 children are growing up without their mother. Think about what those kids are dealing with right now. The oldest ones are old enough to understand that their mom is never coming back. The 7-month-old will grow up with no memory of her at all. And that 3-year-old? He's going to carry what he saw for the rest of his life. Every time he closes his eyes, does he see it? Does he have nightmares? How do you explain to a child that the person who's supposed to protect them is the same person who took everything away? Keisha's family released a statement after Christopher's arrest, and honestly, it broke my heart. They said this is not the end of the fight, but it is a major step toward justice for Keisha and protection for others. Please continue to keep Keisha's children and our family in your prayers as we move forward through grief and the legal process ahead. Protection for others. They're thinking about other women, even while they're drowning in their own grief, because they know Keisha isn't the first woman killed by someone she loved, and she won't be the last. Here's what gets me about this case. The motive, an argument about treating the children differently. That's it. Not infidelity, not money problems, not some dramatic soap opera reason. She called him out for not treating all their kids equally, and he killed her for it. Does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't to me. How does someone go from having an argument about parenting to putting a bullet in someone's forehead? Unless it was never really about the argument at all. Maybe that was just the excuse, the final straw in something much bigger. Maybe there was a pattern we don't know about yet. Control issues, anger problems, violence that have been building for years behind closed doors. Because people don't just snap like that out of nowhere. There's always something underneath. And what about Christopher's state of mind right now? Is he sitting in that jail cell feeling remorse? Does he think about Keisha? Does he think about his kids, especially that 3-year-old who watched him destroy their family? Or has he convinced himself somehow that this wasn't his fault, that Keisha pushed him too far, that he's the real victim here? Because that's what abusers do, isn't it? They rewrite the story in their heads until they're the hero. So let me ask you this. What makes someone capable of killing the person they supposedly love? Is it something broken inside them from the start, or does it develop over time? Can you share a life with someone, have children with them, build memories together, and still be capable of taking their life over an argument? And here's another question that keeps me up at night. How many other Keishas are out there right now? Women in relationships with men who seem fine on the surface, but have that same darkness lurking underneath? How many arguments are happening today that could turn deadly tomorrow? If this case affected you, if Keisha's story matters to you, then do something about it. Hit that subscribe button for Shadow Crime. Ring that bell so you never miss when we cover cases like this. Share this video because awareness saves lives. And if you or someone you know is in a relationship that doesn't feel safe, reach out. Tell someone. because Keisha deserved better. Her children deserve better. And so do you. Justice for Keisha isn't just about putting Christopher Witt behind bars. It's about making sure her story means something. Don't let her be forgotten.